In a plot twist nobody saw coming, Drake, yes. The champagne poppy himself has just taken what fans are calling the biggest L of his career. And this time, it's not just about music. Rumors are swirling, timelines are exploding, and fans are absolutely stunned after Drake allegedly staged a fan meet in Toronto only for it to completely backfire. But that's not the worst part. Just hours after the news broke, none other than Pusha T, Drake's longtime nemesis, popped out of the shadows with a brutal, surgical diss that's already being hailed as a career coffin. Sources say this fake fan meet was meant to boost Drake's public image after a string of PR disasters. But instead, it exposed something much darker. We're talking planted fans, emotional manipulation, and a betrayal that's left even Drake's closest allies questioning his integrity. And, y'all, the drama doesn't stop there. From explosive DMs leaking online to an unexpected cameo by a family member who spilled way too much tea. This story has taken twists no one was ready for. So buckle up, because what just happened could change Drake's legacy forever. And it might already be too late. It all started with a single Instagram story. Just one blurry low-light video from an anonymous fan page that claimed Drake would be hosting a surprise meet in downtown Toronto. The caption read, "This one's for the real ones. Champagne Poppy wants to meet the fans who've held him down since day one. Tonight, Queen Street West, 8 p.m. Within minutes, the clip went viral. Reddit threads were popping off, fan pages were melting down, and Toronto was buzzing with anticipation. No one knew exactly where or how it would happen, but the hype was real. It felt spontaneous, raw, and pure. Or so everyone thought, but behind the scenes, this wasn't just a last-minute fan love moment. This was a carefully staged move, a high-stakes PR stunt orchestrated by Drake's inner circle to repair his crumbling image. After months of lukewarm chart performances, fan backlash over leaked DMs, and accusations that his lyrics had gone soulless, Team Drizzy was desperate. They needed a win. And what better way to get back in fans' good graces than by giving them what they crave most: access. But here's where things start to twist. 8 p.m. hit, and hundreds of fans flooded Queen Street West. Phones out, hearts racing. They were expecting a quick selfie, a warm hug, maybe a heartfelt speech from Drake. Instead, what they got was chaos. A black SUV rolled up, tinted windows. A bodyguard stepped out and waved to the crowd. Then, a man who looked like Drake stepped out. He wore this signature heart-shaped cut in his hairline. The owl chain glistened in the light. The crowd screamed. But within minutes, fans started whispering. Something was off. The guy wasn't talking. He was just waving, smiling stiffly, and posing like a mannequin. A few fans tried to talk to him. No response. Then one brave girl yelled, "You're not Drake!" And the crowd fell silent. That's when everything unraveled. A fan live streaming the whole thing zoomed in. And boom! Side profile didn't match. The tattoos were different. Someone screamed, "This is a fake." And that was it. People started booing. One fan threw a water bottle. Another climbed on a newspaper box and shouted, "Drake faked a meet." The vibe turned hostile instantly. Within 5 minutes, the fake Drake was rushed back into the SUV and the car sped off into the night. The internet exploded. Fans felt betrayed. "How could Drake lie to us like this?" tweeted one user with 2.3 million views. Others called it the most embarrassing moment in hip-hop history. Memes flooded TikTok. #FakerRake was trending by midnight. And the worst part? There was no official statement. Drake's team went radio silent. Not even a denial, but that. Silence didn't last long, because just when fans were still reeling from the fake meat scandal, he entered the chat.pusht, the same man who exposed Drake's secret. Child back in 2018 had apparently been watching this whole thing unfold and waiting. And let's just say he did not hold back. On his official X account, Pusha posted a 10-second clip. No caption, no intro. Just a slow zoom-in of Drake's fake doppelganger smiling awkwardly while fans screamed. Then came the voiceover, a sample of Pusha T's voice. Chillingly calm, you can rent chains. You can copy cuts, but you can't fake heart. Fans lost it. Comments flooded in within seconds. Is this a new diss? He's really coming for his soul now. Drake might never recover from this, and honestly, they weren't wrong. The clip was shared over 10 million times in 24 hours. Hip-hop blogs dissected it frame by frame. Even Charlemagne Tha God chimed in on his podcast, calling it a masterclass in humiliation. But behind the memes and dislines, there was something deeper happening, a growing divide within Drake's camp. Sources close to the artist revealed to an entertainment blog that the decision to hire a double came from inside the house. One insider claimed Drake didn't want to risk showing up in person and getting booed. He thought if he sent a double and fans loved it, he could say it was a prank. If they hated it, he could deny it was ever him. But the plan backfired spectacularly, and it wasn't just fans who were furious. One of Drake's own cousins, who's occasionally appeared in his Instagram stories and early tours logs, went live on Twitch and didn't hold back. Man, I told him this was stupid. We're talking about day one fans who stood in the cold just to see you, and you send a look-alike. This ain't art. This is fake love. The comment section lit up. Some fans defended Drake, saying the pressure of fame must have been overwhelming, but others weren't so forgiving. One viewer wrote, "He used to be about connection. Now he's just about control." Then came the leaked voice note, a 45-second audio clip surfaced on Twitter, allegedly from Drake's manager arguing with a female team member. In it, a male voice said, "We need this to go viral. Tell the guy to keep the heart shape, stay quiet, and walk slow. We'll tell the fans it was for a docuseries or something. Get the footage." Fans went wild. The implication was clear. Not only was the meet fake, it was being filmed for something bigger. A fake moment meant to look real. A lie, dressed up as love. The backlash intensified. Spotify streams for Drake's latest album dropped 14% in 2 days. Sponsors started pulling low-key. One clothing brand that had just launched a collab with him posted a vague statement about authenticity and partnerships and deleted every photo featuring him from their grid. By the third day, things were spiraling. Paparazzi caught Drake leaving his Toronto mansion looking visibly shaken. Hood up, headphones in, avoiding all questions. But he couldn't hide forever, and it was only a matter of time before someone close to him snapped. And that's exactly what happened. An ex-friend, known only by his Instagram handle at the 6th letter, posted a lengthy notes-app confession claiming he'd been involved in the planning of the fake meet. "I kept my mouth shut for years," he wrote, "but I can't support this anymore. Drake's changed. It's all optics now. No soul. He told us the fans would eat it up. He said people just want to feel special. Doesn't matter how." Though, post hit like a wrecking ball. Screenshots circulated. Fans were heartbroken. Some cried on live, others burned merch. And one thing became clear. Drake wasn't just dealing with a failed stunt. He was facing something much darker. He was losing trust, and that, for someone who built an empire on vulnerability and connection, might be the one thing he can't recover from. And just when people thought it couldn't get worse, the confession from at the 6th letter didn't just rattle the fan base, it cracked something deep within Drake's inner circle. Insiders began scrambling. Cryptic posts from longtime collaborators started popping up, each more suspicious than the last. One of his trusted producers, who's been with him since the Take Care era, posted an Instagram story with the words, "It's only fake until someone leaks the footage." Fans took that and ran. Within hours, conspiracy theories started trending. What footage? What else had Drake faked? And then, The biggest leak dropped. A 10-minute behind-the-scenes clip from what looked like security cam footage. No one knows how it was obtained. Showed the fake fan meet being rehearsed. Yes, rehearsed. Drake wasn't on camera, but his voice was unmistakable. You could hear him directing the actor, coaching him. Just wave slow. Don't say anything. The less you say, the more mysterious you look. Trust me, they'll eat it up. Those were the exact words that the internet exploded again. This wasn't just damage control anymore. This was manipulation. Fans felt violated. Comments poured in like a flood. I was there. I screamed for someone who wasn't even real. He played with our emotions like it was a game. How do you come back from this? But amidst all the chaos, there was one voice that hadn't spoken yet. Sophie. Sophie. Yes, that's Sophie, Drake's former partner and mother of his son, Adonis. She'd stayed out of the spotlight for months, but the fake fan meet was apparently the last straw. In a now-deleted Instagram story, she posted a blurry photo of a young Drake backstage with fans, followed by a caption that read, "He used to care." The internet took that and ran wild. Blogs speculated that even Drake's personal relationships were unraveling. Had Sophie known about the fake stunt? Was she trying to hint at something deeper? The speculation only intensified when Adonis's private school teacher. Yes, his teacher liked to comment saying poor kid has to grow up watching his dad lie to millions. Fans were shook. The betrayal didn't just feel professional. Anymore, it was starting to feel personal. If he could fake love for his fans, what else was he faking? Then came the bombshell. A Canadian news outlet published a piece titled "The Illusion of Champagne Poppy," claiming they had uncovered receipts that Drake's team had paid over $8,000 to a Toronto-based casting agency. The gig looked like needed for promotional public appearance. Must have strong resemblance to hip-hop artist. Minimal speaking. Security provided. The receipts were real, names were redacted, but the agency confirmed it was booked under an entertainment firm affiliated with a major artist. Fans connected the dots. It wasn't a last-minute mistake. It was a scripted lie. And guess, who couldn't resist commenting? Pusha T again. He posted a simple tweet. Actors been in the mix. Should have stayed in Degrassi. Fans went insane. The shade was brutal, subtle, and devastatingly effective. Within an hour, Drake unfollowed over a dozen accounts, including a few longtime fan pages and a notorious meme account that had previously supported him. It was clear he was in full retreat mode, but that wasn't going to save him because the next move came from someone no one expected. Ovo 40? Yes. Noah 40 Shabib, Drake's longtime producer, brother figure, and musical soulmate, broke his silence with a cryptic tweet. Heartbreaking. I believed we were better than this. Fans couldn't believe it. Was 40 turning on him? People started digging into his likes. Sure enough, he had recently liked a tweet that said, "Somewhere along the way, the art got lost." That one like sent shockwaves. Hip-hop heads and stan accounts started theorizing that the OVO camp was fracturing from within. A few even claimed that 40 had temporarily stopped showing up to studio sessions, citing creative differences. Could it really be that bad? Meanwhile, media outlets were having a field day. Every podcast, every tabloid, every influencer had something to say. Joe Budden called it a masterclass in self-sabotage. Academics. Never one to stay quiet, said on stream, "This ain't about music no more." Drake broke the fourth wall and turned into a villain. And yet, Drake stayed silent. No apology, no clarification, no clever lyric or Instagram post. Fans started calling it the ghost phase. It's just shadows and silence. And right when everyone thought the story had peaked, a voice memo leaked. That changed everything. This time, it was Drake himself. The audio, apparently from a private conversation with a close friend, was raw and unfiltered. In it, he sounded tired, broken, shaken. "I just wanted them to feel something again," he said. "They say I've changed. that I don't connect anymore. So I thought, hey bae, if I controlled the narrative, gave them a moment, they'd remember why they loved me. But instead of sympathy, fans felt manipulated. One top comment on the leaked clip read, "You don't give people moments, you share them. That's the difference. That's what you forgot." The emotional weight of that hit hard, and that's when the fake Drake, yes, the actor hired for the meet, finally spoke up. In an exclusive interview with a small Toronto podcast, the man, known only as Terrell, said he was told it was an experimental art piece and that he would be helping Drake redefine public connection. He sounded conflicted. "I looked up to him," Terrell said. "I thought I was part of something genius. But when the hate started pouring in, they cut me off, like I was disposable." The clip went viral. Suddenly, fans didn't just see Drake as a liar, they saw him as a puppet master who used people like chess pieces, then ghosted them when things got messy. Even other celebs started chiming in. Tory Lanez, currently on house arrest, threw shade during an IG live. "Damn Drizzy, out here replacing himself now. They gonna need a stunt double for his next apology too." And while fans were laughing, crying, and screaming online, one final dagger was about to be thrown, and it would come from someone with a very personal score to settle. Drake's estranged Uncle Ye's family took to Facebook, of all places, claiming that this ain't the Aubrey I knew. His mama raised him better than this. Fame twisted something in him. It used to be about lyrics. Now it's about optics. The post went semi-viral after fans traced his identity and confirmed the family connection. Some fans mocked it. Others felt it deeply, and just like that, the narrative flipped again. What started as a botched stunt had turned into a full-blown crisis of identity. Was Drake losing touch with the man he used to be? Was he sacrificing authenticity for control? Fame swallowed the very thing that made him great. These were the questions fans were now wrestling with, and the answers weren't looking pretty. And as the dust from the family betrayal settled, something even more shocking was about to drop, and it came not from a diss track, not from an ex, but from a fan who may have uncovered the one truth Drake hoped would never come out. The moment the fan video dropped, everything changed. It didn't come from a verified source, or a gossip site, or a celebrity insider. It came from a regular fan account, just a Toronto college student named Danica, who ran a modest YouTube channel dedicated to Drake's old albums and lyrics breakdowns. For years, she'd been a hardcore supporter. But after the fake meet, something inside her shifted. She started digging. Not out of hate, out of heartbreak. And what she found sent shockwaves across the internet. In a 27-minute expose video titled, "Proof the Fake Meet Was Planned 6 Months Ago," Danica laid out a timeline so detailed, fans were left speechless. She showed screenshots of archived casting calls for lookalikes as far back as February. She tracked down a location scout who had posted photos of Queen Street West from a burner account. She even uncovered a set design invoice allegedly billed to an OVO-affiliated shell company that listed public fan interaction setup downtown Toronto. And then came the part that broke the internet. Danica cross-referenced the date of the fake meet with an old photo Drake had posted months earlier, showing him in a studio wearing the exact same outfit the fake Drake wore. Same shoes, same watch, same chain. Her voice cracked as she said, "You guys, it was a replica. He literally cloned a moment he already lived and sold it back to us like it was real." Within hours, her video hit 1 million views. Fans flooded her comments. Some were in denial, others were furious. One user wrote, "She just exposed the simulation we've been living in." Another said, "I feel like I've been emotionally catfished." But the biggest shock came when Danica revealed one more piece of evidence. A DM from someone claiming to be a former OVO creative director. She didn't show the name for legal reasons. She said, but the message was chilling. "We had meetings about it," the DM read. It wasn't about love. It was about engagement. Numbers. Headlines, he said, and I quote, We don't need authenticity. We need virality. That quote spread like wildfire. We don't need authenticity, we need virality. It became the new unofficial tagline of Drake's downfall. Fans plastered it on TikTok, Reddit, Instagram. Influencers used it as the punchline of their skits. Even other artists started quoting it on stage as a warning to their fans. Don't let the industry turn your heart into a click. And just as this was catching fire, Drake finally broke his silence. But not with an apology, not with a video, with a new song posted with zero promotion, at midnight sharp on SoundCloud only, titled Mirror Maze. The track was stripped back. No heavy beats, no swagger, it's just piano, vocals, and a tone fans hadn't heard in years. Something vulnerable. He rapped, "I built a palace just to see it burn, sold them feelings they could never return. Called it love, but it was just a term. Now the mirror shows me who I hurt." Fans were torn. Some called it beautiful, poetic, even redemptive. Others weren't buying it. "He's using art to avoid accountability," one fan tweeted. "This isn't vulnerability, it's a marketing strategy." The debate split. The fan base right down the middle. One side was ready to forgive, the other, not so much. And the divide started to spill offline. At OVO-branded stores in Toronto and Los Angeles, protesters began showing up. Some were peaceful, holding signs that read, "Real fans deserve real moments." Others were more aggressive, chanting, "No more fake poppy," at security. One clip even showed a group of fans removing a Drake mural and painting over it with the word illusion. And while all of that was happening, Pusha T wasn't done. He released a full-length diss track titled Unverified. And it was ruthless. The cover art. A blurred-out screenshot of Drake's alleged casting call. The beat. Minimal, cold, almost. Surgical. And the lyrics. Pure venom, tinted SUV, paid applause. You ain't showing love. You just selling the cause. Now your soul's in debt to a rented applause / call yourself a king, but you broke your own laws. The track went instantly. Viral hip-hop critics called it his most precise takedown since the story of Adidas. Fans said it was the final nail in the coffin. Drake, who had previously been untouchable, now looked vulnerable, outmaneuvered by a man who simply waited for the perfect moment to strike. Even Kendrick Lamar, who hadn't said a word during the entire drama, posted a cryptic message on his story. A quote that read, "The truth, don't panic." It was subtle, but the internet caught it immediately. More and more artists began distancing themselves. A-list collaborators went silent. Producers removed his tag from their bios. And then, out of nowhere, came the most heartbreaking betrayal of all. Drake's single quotes his mom. She didn't release a statement. She didn't do an interview. But paparazzi caught her at a private art gallery in Toronto, and when asked about her son's recent controversy, all she said was, "I just hope he remembers the young man who used to write poems at the kitchen table." It was soft, but it cut deep. Fans felt it. "That's not a diss," one fan wrote. "That's disappointment. And disappointment from your mom hurts more than any diss track ever could." By now, the damage wasn't just external, it was internal. Sources close to Drake's team reported major tensions. One assistant quit. Another producer allegedly had stopped taking his calls. OVO's social media team went silent. The machine was cracking, and through it all, the fans who once idolized him were now divided into two camps. The loyalists who believed he was just a man who made a mistake, and the realists who felt like they'd woken up from a dream they never agreed to be in. But there was one more twist. Just as things seemed to hit rock bottom, Danica, the same fan who started the investigation, posted one final update. She'd received a cease and desist letter, signed by OVO Legal. Her voice shook as she read parts of it aloud. "We are requesting the removal of all content containing confidential material. Failure to comply may result in legal action. Fans rallied around her instantly. Hashtags like hashtag Stand with Danica and hashtag Truth Over Clout exploded on social media. People donated to her legal fund. Lawyers offered to defend her for free. And suddenly, the narrative flipped once again. Drake wasn't just an artist who had faked a moment. He was now seen as trying to silence the truth. To protect an illusion, the headlines started writing themselves. From idol to icon of inauthenticity. When Drake stopped being real, how the king of emotions became the face of manipulation. And as Danica's video remained online, and her subscriber count soared past 1 million, one question echoed louder than any lyric or diss track or apology ever could. Who is Drake now? And the answer was nowhere to be found. Not in a statement. Not in a song. Not in a moment. Just a silence. A hollow echo from a once-loved artist now trapped in the maze of his own design. But even as the world watched him fall, one final act, one last twist was about to shift everything once more. Just when it seemed like the curtain had closed for good, something strange happened. A private audio file was leaked onto a small encrypted hip-hop forum. Only a few users had access. It wasn't from a major label. It wasn't even properly mixed. Just raw, rough vocals layered over a scratch beat. The file was simply titled Control. The voice. Not Drake, not Pusha, not any rapper known to the mainstream. But what the mysterious voice said sent shivers down every listener's spine. You watched the fall. Now ask yourself, who built the trap? Within minutes, the file was downloaded, re-uploaded to YouTube, and dissected like a conspiracy artifact. A UDIO experts got involved. Voices were analyzed, beats were reverse engineered, and slowly a theory started forming. Something far bigger than just a fake fan meet. Something calculated, strategic. Long-term, the theory. Drake didn't fall. He was pushed. Literally, fans began speculating that the entire series of events, from the casting call to the leak to the backlash, wasn't just bad luck or poor judgment. It was a targeted takedown, a reputational hit job. And the most popular name being floated, Pusha T. Some even believed he had insider help. Anonymous users posted claims that a mole inside Drake's team had been feeding details to an outside group for months. A few pointed to Danica's rise as suspicious. How did a fan go viral that fast? How did she get that much evidence? Who was the so-called former creative director in her DMs? It didn't help that an old photo resurfaced, a blurry shot from 2023 showing Danica in the background of a Push T album release party. The timeline didn't add up perfectly, but it was enough to raise eyebrows. Suddenly, the girl who was hailed as the truth teller was being accused of something darker. Was she used? Or worse, was she part of it all along? Danica quickly denied the rumors, posting a tearful video insisting she had nothing to do with any takedown. I just wanted answers. I never meant for any of this to spiral like it did, she said. I loved him too, but the seed of doubt had already been planted, and it grew fast. Forums split in two, some defending Danica, others accusing her of being a pawn. She cracked the illusion too perfectly, one user wrote. Either she's the best fan investigator of all time, or someone handed her the script. And while fans debated the possibility of an orchestrated downfall, another piece of the puzzle quietly surfaced. A security contractor came forward anonymously on a podcast, claiming he'd been hired for a private talent protection gig in Toronto weeks before the fake meet even happened. He was told to stay out of sight, wear all black, and follow the lookalike without being seen. When asked why, the contractor replied, they said the footage needed to look raw, but he still needed backup in case things went sideways. He didn't mention Drake by name, but everyone knew. What made it worse? Kay claimed there were two production teams on set that day. One from Drake's team, and one that WASN single quotes T. Suddenly. It looked like someone might have been documenting the meltdown from inside. So now the question wasn't just did Drake fake it? It was, did someone make it look fake on purpose? And that theory got a massive boost when a former OVO video editor tweeted, then quickly deleted a cryptic post that simply read, "Not all cameras point the same direction." It was vague, but it shook the fandom to its core. What if Drake knew something was coming? What if the leaked voice note about giving them a moment wasn't desperation, but bait? Was it possible that he faked the fake? That he allowed himself to be exposed, knowing it would flush out the traitors in his camp, force silence from fake friends, and finally let him reboot from the ground up? The theory gained traction quickly. Fans started reionizing the diss, tracks, the silence, even the leaked quote from his mom. What if she wasn't disappointed? What if she was warning us? But the final twist came in the form of a new trademark filing. Its mysterious new company called Meetup had been quietly registered weeks before the fake meat scandal began. And the registered owner? Aubrey Graham, aka Drake, Documents, listed the company's purpose as multi-format entertainment storytelling, focused on blurred reality and fan perception. Fans put it all together. The fake fan moment, the heartbreak, the media storm, the music, the silence, even Danica's expose and began asking one terrifying question. Was it all performance art? Was the downfall itself the art? One TikTok theorist broke it down in a viral post. He didn't just create a moment, he created a legend. One where he loses everything, gets buried, and then rises from the ashes with the ultimate redemption arc. This wasn't about virality. This was about mythology. And just like that, the narrative flipped again. Fans who had burned merch weeks ago started revisiting lyrics. Old songs hit differently. Fake love, cameras, views, all were being reinterpreted as clues. Suddenly, Drake wasn't a fallen star. He was a mastermind playing a 5D chess game in the shadows. But not everyone was buying it. Some fans still felt used, betrayed, manipulated. Whether it was planned or not, it hurt, one fan said. He played with our loyalty. Others felt it was genius. He made us part of the art, another fan argued. He made us feel something real in a world full of fake. But whether you loved it or hated it, one thing was now certain. Drake had created the most talked about moment in modern pop culture without releasing a single official statement. No interview. No apology. Just chaos, emotion, and questions with no answers. And then, on the final Sunday of the month, a billboard appeared in downtown Toronto. No logo. No artist's name. Just 3 words in glowing white letters. Was it ever real? Fans gasped. The location. 1 block from the original fake meat. And below it, in small print, Mirror Maze Media Fall 2025. That's when everyone finally realized this wasn't a mistake. This was the beginning of something much, much bigger. So, now after weeks of drama, betrayal, disses, leaks, and theories, we're left asking the one question that might never have a clear answer. Was Drake's downfall a genuine disaster? Or the most calculated performance in modern music history? Because whether you believe he faked the fan meet out of desperation, or he staged the whole scandal to reset his legacy, one thing's for sure, no one's ever done anything like this before. Not at this scale, not with this much emotional whiplash, not with this many layers. And now, every moment, every tweet, every silence is being rewatched and reread like a mystery novel. Is Danica a hero, a plant, or both? Did Pusha T really play puppet master? And most importantly, has Drake already started writing his redemption arc? Or are we still living inside the collapse? You tell us. Because this story isn't just about Drake anymore. It's about us, the fans, the culture, and how easily we can be pulled into the maze. So now it's your turn. We want to hear your theory. Do you think Drake lost it all? For real? Or do you think he just flipped the entire game on its head? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because we're reading everything. Don't forget to like this video if you're still reeling from the drama. And subscribe so you don't miss the next twist in this ever-evolving story. Because if we've learned anything, Drake's world, nothing is what it seems. And this might just be the beginning.